Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
In a matchup that I thought I was going to say it was dominated by the Calgary Flames and then got way tighter at the end, the Flames win your final score 4-2 for the home side in a must-win game where they only allowed 18 shots. My name is Conrad Krausert. Joining me here is Anand, and if you can't read that sign behind me, it says hashtag ban the wave. Because this is something we as Flames fans need to recognize, because we were completely controlling this game, then we did that stupid celebration, and the Wild made it close. Anyways, how did you enjoy the game, Anand?
Not much better I can ask for. Of course, we didn't know what the outcome was going to be tonight. We definitely had our hearts pumping and stressed. But at the end also, they gave us a small heart attack or small heart panic. But we get it done. I'm impressed. And like we said, each game now is going to get bigger. Now the Wild play the back to back tomorrow, and the Flames play on Sunday, so it's gonna get really interesting. It could be anyway flipping and flopping here soon.
And not just any back-to-back, a back-to-back with travel. The Wild need to go get on a jet over the Rocky Mountains. Obviously, only a 1 hour flight. Hey, it's a longer drive up to Edmonton, so he could have wished they were going to play Edmonton tomorrow, but no. It's to fly over the Rocky Mountains, face the eliminated Vancouver Canucks. But that doesn't matter. The Flames win. They win the 4-point game, and now only trail both the Wild and St. Louis Blues by a total of 5 points. But before we get going any further, gotta take care of some business here on our end. Shift into Hyperdrive and get ready to have some fun with your news source for all the biggest stories in hockey. Bringing a unique style of broadcasting and commentary with a Quebecois flavor. Hyperdrive Hockey combines top-tier hockey analysis, big stories, pop culture, and a fun atmosphere that will drive debate, make you think, and more. Join Max Vanot, Datmy Malbouf, and Kevin Larmé as they return for the playoffs to give you your fill of news from around the hockey world. Watch on the Game Over Network YouTube, subscribe on your favorite podcatcher, or head on over to our website, thegameovernetwork.com, for more. So, as I said, the Flames dominated, let's call it the first 55 minutes of this game, holding the Wild to under 13 shots until late in the third. But boy, oh boy, did my heart start thumping there in the final 5-minute stretch. And for a team that's been so good in the third period, that may have been the worst third period we've seen in quite a while.
Or Conrad was the against the Anaheim Ducks. Which one would you say is worse?
Oh boy, yeah, you're right. Bringing up the last two games have been bad in the third. Oh, but
It's
but the
either
start
the
of the third in the Ducks game was great. The Flames got their third goal on the board. Yeah, but that's almost two collapses in a row. You're right. I hadn't even thought of that. No, I think this was worse. Because you couldn't argue the Flames had control for the whole game against the Ducks.
yeah.
In this one, they had control for at least the first two periods, completely smothering this team that you're trying to leapfrog. And it's such an important game to let them even have that much hope going into this back-to-back. I think that's a worst third period.
Yeah, I would say so. Definitely feel let them hang around. Um, Flames have the tendency to do so, but I think it originally started with the wave, and then they come and score two goals, which breaks the deadlock shutout for Wolf, which I was hoping it happens for him. It would have been such a rebound game after the Anaheim Ducks game, but things unfortunately don't go away. Either they start slow and then they finish strong, or they start slow but then finish strong. So it depends on the game. I don't think the Flames can play a whole 60 minutes fully, complete have all the possession. But yeah, it is what it is. But we should be proud of how they battled tonight.
Yeah, and I know going into the game today, before we even get into the recap, there was a lot of Flames fans, especially on Reddit and Twitter and all these social media sites, that were angry that Zane Perek didn't draw into the lineup after having his few days of practice. Um, and they were shocked to see that Morgan Frost was back in the lineup. So it's kind of coming into this game, I was nervous, number one, knowing how important the 4-point game is for the standings. But number two, knowing that there was this tension in the fan base, and as much as hockey players want to say they drown that all out, I know they don't. Like, I know they hear at least some of the hum from the city. I know there are some that don't turn on the local sports network for that reason, so they don't hear all the noise, but I know for some of them, they're so embroiled in the sport they have to. So you have to think that going into the arena today, that has to be on your mind, like, especially if you're a guy like Braden Pahal or Jake Bean, like, knowing that this fan base is... I'm not going to say we're angry that Pahal isn't in the lineup, but we're questioning after that performance against the Duck, why aren't we giving this kid a chance? And obviously there's concerns, should we be playing a Morgan Frost that's at, we don't know the extent of the injury that he left Wednesday's game in the third period, but is a 90% Morgan Frost better than bringing in anyone that's part of our roster? I can never... Suniev. Is Suniev not an option for this Flames team at this point? A guy that's been with the team for, let's call it, less than a week? Maybe around 7 days? I can't remember exactly when he signed his contract. But is that not somebody who should also be getting a check in this lineup? But no, the Flames run back the same roster they had against the Ducks, and obviously now in hindsight, we know that's the correct decision.
I think on the Suniev front, I think somebody told us already that he'll not play until they're officially eliminated. But Zane Perek was, okay, he's a different case, he's a different scenario. He may come in sooner, but I think he'll also now wait because of the result we saw today. The Flames were in dominance. When I was coming out of the Ducks game, I thought, okay, you might want to put in Perek because you want to fix something because that's broken, because you broke the third period. But now that I think about it, with the way they played today, of course, home game, home ice vibes, I think Zane Perek will have to sit a bit more longer moving forward.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. Like, other than Rasmus Anderson and Mackenzie Weegar, there's not a lot of offensive upside from anyone. Obviously, you think Daniil Maramanov has a little bit more, but he hasn't factored into the lineup in the last few weeks. So throwing in I'm not going to call him a curveball. Let's call him a change-up, a change of pace, a spin bowler, rather than someone who's just going to throw it all the way down at the wicket versus a speed bowler. See, I've been doing my research, Anand.
Good job on that.
But yeah, that left a lot of Flames fans wondering. And yeah, as you said, the Flames have said that Suniev is a little bit further away. He's more of a project still. But as I said, we didn't know the extent of the Frost injury, so there were kind of those nagging whispers. But as Christine Merrill saying in chat, thank you for joining us, Christine. Obviously, Matt C, hello as well. I would have liked to see if Suniev in a situation that if Frost wasn't good to go, maybe that's, hey, this is our best chance. Give him that third line role. Let Farabee jump up the lineup, sort of deal.
Conrad, but there is, sorry, I'm going to poke you there in between, but there is Dryden Hunt also who has been sitting for a while. So I would say he would get a chance before Suniev. So it would be Dryden Hunt first, then Suniev.
I think it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other sort of scenario there, Anand. I think they're both in a similar place. Skill-wise, maybe Dryden Hunt has a little bit more familiarity with the systems that gives him the nod. I would have rather seen Suniev. But I digress. None of this came to be. Calgary Flames go into the game and takes 16 minutes and 25 seconds for the Flames to find the scoreboard off a slick face-off play. Weegar gets it across. Hanley just fired it down, and just a turnover from the goaltender, and Backlund gets enough of it for it to trickle in behind. The goal tended at that time by Philip Gustafsson. Good shift there from that, let's call it a true third line now for the Flames of Backlund, Coleman, and Coronado. And it was kind of an interesting starting position. You don't see them take a lot of offensive face-off dots. I know this one was at the offside line, but generally that's when you'll see the Huberdeau Kadri X, whoever's playing with them. I know tonight was Adam Klapka. That's usually a situation where you see them start. But give the third line that face-off. Backlund wins the face-off, allows the set play to commence. And obviously you get the handoff or the turnover from the goaltender. That helps out a little bit too.
Yeah, 100%. Kudos to Michael Backlund, of course. He has been snake bitten for a while, but good to see. I know he was nagging a bit, especially during that Four Nations phase of the break has allowed him. He came back now stronger. Maybe that even that 2 week injury break he got in between also helped him. He has been much stronger now, face-offs and now scoring goals too. So good to see the Backlund back in form.
Yeah, his 13th goal, and Coleman, who fired the shot, gets a secondary assist, or gets the assist, no secondary on the play. And then another guy who's not had the year that we all thought he should, scored, I think, maybe his best goal of the year. I don't think there's a contender, as Igor Sharangovich knocks a Martin Pospisil shot out of midair, and it beats Gustafsson yet again, and that was a heck of a play. The baseball swing to get a piece of lumber on that and redirect a shot that I thought was going wide past the big, tall Gustafsson.
Oh, sorry.
You're all good. But
I talked about my video cam. Okay, there we go.
You're all good. But yeah, Sharky finally finds the back of the net. He's got a couple goals in the last few games.
Yeah, I think his start or his rejuvenation came once again Four Nations break. I think we all will point to that. He was again as well feeling something, and then ever since that Edmonton Oilers game in Edmonton, that's when he started to rebound, and he has been scoring goals since. And I know last season also it was almost the same. It was towards the later part of the season that he got started rebounding after having a off start. So I think we might see a replica of that this end of season as well.
Don't think he'll hit 30 goals this year, as that was only his 15th of the year, and the shot taker Pospisil gets the only assist. But that wasn't all, as right off another face-off play. Kind of the theme of today's game for the Flames, as it was a face-off win by Morgan Frost. He gets the assist. Coronado gets the puck down in the corner and makes a beautiful pass. Apparently Frost did get a heel of his stick on that. He'll get the primary. But Nazem Kadri ties his career high 32nd goal of the season. And gotta say, that goal doesn't happen if Jonathan Huberdeau isn't standing right on the top of the blue paint, taking the eyes away from Philip Gustafsson.
Yeah, 100%. Huberdeau has been... Okay, so here is my thought on Huberdeau. He has been the classic Huberdeau, like overpassing the past couple of games, but that I think that important screen was really good. And then Nazem Kadri, both of them. Nazem Kadri has been quietly having one of the best seasons so far for the Flames. He has stepped up wherever, in some games, wherever the Flames need him to. And I like how he shows up almost every game, scoring either a highlight reel goal or just helping out the team. He has been quietly fantastic as well.
Yeah, and I know, again, going to talk about the X, Reddit, Twitter crowd. A lot of people saying that he needs to wear the C next year, and I don't know about that. As I've said, I really like Michael Backlund's leadership skills on and off the ice, but Kadri has been the straw that has stirred the drink so often in these must-win scenarios, and that's the game winner today, in fact. So that'll be the Flames leading 3-0, and then I gotta get this graphic up on the screen, because about midway through the period, it was time for the Lamborghini to get in a foot race. He intercepts the pass going back. It's kind of skips around a little bit on the forward covering the point, and the Lamborghini got the legs chugging. An unassisted breakaway goal. And then I'll stick with the car perspective. The wheels kind of started falling off for the Flames. It started at the 10-minute and 52-second mark, if my brain is to be remembered, that the Flames fan base yet again threw their arms up in the air and momentum turned. But I'll
Yeah,
let you
and
talk
talk
about
about
the Lamborghini goal first.
yeah, I want to talk about the Lamborghini goal. What a lovely guy. Every night in, night out, he'll sing the national anthems for it. He'll bring the vibes. He'll fight who he wants to, and then of course the Minnesota Wild already were frustrated by then, and they created a mistake, and he capitalized on it. And good on him going on the breakaway and shooting. He really wanted it, that he knew every time, and. Yeah, he was really wanting it, and he gets it. So for nothing, the Flips.
And you saw how the bench reacted too on Sportsnet. Everybody was ruffling his hair and kind of spurring him on because he means a lot to this team. Because I know a lot of people were detractors of Ryan Lomberg's contract. I've been a big fan since he was a Flame the first time. Used to call him First Mate Lomberg in my friend circle because he was always the guy who was going to jump in and give that energy. He might not be the captain, but he'll be the first guy into the fight. So love to see him start to get rewarded. A couple goals in the last 5. But yeah, then the events, the Flames fan base starting to do the wave, and that led to 2 goals. Yakov Trenin, his first goal unassisted after Adam Klapka tried to get a little too pretty. This is a guy who's been playing with a lot of confidence, and he needs that in his game, but turned it over. Trenin turned on the Jets and beats Dustin Wolf for the Wild's first goal of the game. And like, Klapka's been so good. I feel he has a longer leash than he probably did to start the year, but can't make a mistake like that against a team that you're in a tooth and nail playoff battle against.
Yeah, true. Um, yeah, you can give criticism to Klapka, but he has been fantastic for the team as well. So maybe a small benefit of the doubt that maybe he lost a track or skate or lane leading to that goal. But like you said, Conrad, especially on a most important win game, most important season on the line, try not to give up as much as mistakes. One
Yeah,
thing talking about,
go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, you've got the line of thinking. Go ahead.
No, I was just telling that the Flames didn't take as much as penalties as well this game, which I think is one of the biggest reason coming away from. I know they took that 1-5-1-3, they killed it perfectly, and apart from that, they were disciplined all through the game. So one another major factor um, contributing to this win.
Never mind. The I muted my mic by accident, so I'll say everything I was saying all over again. Thank you, Denim Man, for telling me in chat. But yeah, Gus Nyquist then got his goal. I got it. So we're back. My mic's back. Thank you. Yeah. Face-off play. Goudreau bumps it back to Nyquist. Beats Wolf. Marc-Andre Fleury was on the bench at this time. We did get to see the last time Marc-Andre Fleury will play in Calgary, at least in this game. Fired that one home. As I said, when you couldn't hear me, Flames were up by 3 instead of by 2, but I still had knots in my stomach knowing we had just seen this story before. Hey, and in our Flames collapse previously, it was a Backlund goal into a Sharangovich goal. It could have happened. The script Changed it a little bit just so it didn't look like you were copying the work. But that was it for this game.
Yeah, I thought Coronado might have gotten an empty goal, but unfortunately hit the post.
Oh, how do you hit the post from that angle too? You have one of the best wrist shots in the league, and you decide to suddenly starting to play pond hockey when you have to hit the posts. Is that? Do they even have pond hockey? Oh, he's from upstate New York. They'd have pond hockey up there, but so frustrating.
Yeah, empty nets, they seem to be a little struggle for the Flames
Yeah,
sometimes.
I don't know, man. I don't know. The 6x4 frame intimidating more than goaltenders. But your 3 stars as selected by Sportsnet 960's, I believe it was Pat Steinberg. He's always ones that select them. Michael Backlund, your first star. Igor Sharangovich, your second star. And Ryan Lomberg, your third star. 3 of your goal scorers today. And the Flames do take the season series 3-0 against the Wild. We when we talked previously in the last game we did together, we were like, is that 0-2 series or set against the Blues going to come back and haunt them? Hey, that season series against Minnesota looks pretty good to counteract it.
Yeah, 100%. And now just looking at the updated standings, Conrad, the Flames now only trail 3 points behind the St. Louis and Minnesota with the updated standings.
Oh, they finally updated it. Got it. So the Flames at 90 points, not the 80 or 88 that I quoted before.
Correct. And they have one game in hand against both these teams as well.
Yeah, so the Blues, we'll discuss that as we go on. We'll look at the Blues schedule, look at the Wild schedule in period number 3. But 3 points feels a heck of a lot more manageable than it had previously for this squad. Gonna go through a couple other important stats. As I said, the Wild only had 13 shots until about midway through the third. They end it with 18. Flames fire 32 on the combination of Fleury and Gustafsson. Key stat we've keyed on all season in the face-off dot. Flames go above 50%, 52.6, and as I said, led to a couple opportunities. Flames go 50% on the power play, not allowing a penalty not allowing a power play goal against, going the perfect 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. Just barely edged the Wild out in hits. I think we edged them out in big hits by a wide margin there. Klapka and Pospisil were looking for the body all night tonight, and I think that really did change the flow of things. I don't think the Wild were prepared for that from a team that doesn't necessarily have that reputation of being a big physical team. And then Flames led in block shots as well, 24-18. Trailed in giveaways, which is a good thing, 16-12. And led in takeaways, 5-4. Any last thoughts about the game that was before we head to period number 2, Anand?
Each time, Conrad, so they played the Ducks day before yesterday. I thought they were done. It's season's over. We put the curtains, so it's like, okay. Now, because I was preparing to host this show now, and then you said, okay, this is the most important game. You're going to come on with me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what do we start talking about? Do we do awards, like end of season awards? Do we credit all the players? No, we can't do that. They're still alive.
Yep.
They're 3 points behind.
To quote Monty Python, I'm not dead yet. We might have been on the cart. We might have been ready to be taken off and buried, but we're the voice. We're not dead yet.
Call an ambulance for me, but not for me.
Yeah, that same energy.
Yeah, I think I'll give kudos to the boys for showing up tonight, especially against a Wild team that could have been tough with the way they have been going. But overall, good job done. Of course, that last few minutes was scary. Same memories going back to the Ducks game. But kudos to them handling the Wild.
All right. So that'll take us into period number 2. But before we get there, got another ad for you. Looking for ways to help an upstart media company employing over 30 young journalists, broadcasters, and analysts across Canada, like myself and Anand? If you have a little bit of jingle kicking around your jeans, you can head on over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/the Game Over Network. There you'll find multiple tiers featuring different rewards and goodies for helping us grow. There's extra access, exclusive looks behind the scene, Discord benefits, merch discounts, opportunities to give us feedback, and you can even join us for special shows live, or you can interact with hosts as we launch more and more ways to improve your experience. Speaking of which, I'll shout out one of our Flames chatters in our Discord. Drago was with there for almost the whole game. So if you want to kind of do, not a watch along, but a chat along, we're always available for that. One of the benefits. If you're not able to spare a few dollars and just want to get on the Discord, we do have a free tier available so you don't miss out. Really want to help us? There's another couple ways you can do this for free. Click like underneath this video, subscribe to the channel, and rate us 5 stars if you listen to us on your favorite podcast app. And hey, you all got social media. We all live in this century. Share our work on your social media of choice. But for the Patreon, once again, that's patreon.com/the Game Over Network for tantalizing goodies. So for period number 2, I really wanted to go into, we all know the big guys. We all have talked about Huberdeau, Kadri, Wolf, Vladar when he's been in. We've talked lots about Matt Coronado, Connor Zary throughout the season. I think it's time to talk about the contributions we got from the other guys today. And that's not just on the score sheet, as great as it was to see Michael Backlund score again. I was so excited seeing Ryan Lomberg score. I love that player to death. I love the role that he plays for this team. I love seeing guys contribute off the scoreboard, like Martin Pospisil, growing into understanding that he needs to be a physical force. Kevin Ball, he had some incredible stick work today. Used that stick that's a mile long really well. Like, let's go into talk about some of these guys that don't necessarily get the shine that the big horses do. Any name that comes to mind for you to start it off, Anand?
Oh boy. Kevin Rooney, as of late, coming out from the Four Nations face-off. I know he has gotten a lot of hate over the past couple months.
His 5-on-5 play isn't great, but go ahead.
But the penalty killing as of late, especially tonight, kudos to him that way. Of course, yeah, you don't necessarily like his 5-on-5 play, but I think he has decently well, especially that 5-on-3 today. He was a good factor in killing those penalties, so I think a bit of credit is due for him.
Yeah, 10:36 for Kevin Rooney today. Credited with 1 blocked shot, 1 shot himself. But that's not his game. You don't expect him to be necessarily in there providing the offense, but as I've really harped on, he needs to be better in the faceoff dot. Was at a 66% today. Perfect. That's exactly what you want. Somebody that Christine Merrill shouted out, and I'm going to agree with, is Morgan Frost. He's been, of that trade from the Flyers, he's really been the player that's been a little bit more noticeable. Obviously, I feel so bad for Joel Farabee. He's had so many chances, but hasn't scored as a Flame yet. He had his 1 goal taken away, if I do recall. But in his 12 minutes and 16 seconds today, I thought the effort was there. I'd love to see the face-off percentage go up a little bit. How much of that is his injury? We don't know. We're watching from afar. Only 37% on the draws today. But he's a guy that I think has a lot more to show, and obviously he has a little bit of term on his contract, so we'll get to see him grow a little bit as a Calgary Flame. And let's give one more name apiece. You got one more? I can go first.
Yeah, you go first. I need a bit of time to think.
Or actually, can I give you a name that I think you'll agree with?
Sure.
Braden Pahal. Somebody who's played way more games than anyone else thought he would. What have you thought about his game?
Yeah, waiver pickup, of course, coming from the Vegas Golden Knights. Started off, I believe, as even the extra 7D, now promoted to a regular full-time role with Bean, or he gets in between with Mirmanov. He has adjusted well. I know he has had a couple rough stretches in between, but that has rebounded really well. And like you said, one of the underrated defensemen, and I think that's a good pick of how he has been playing. He'll do the hits, he'll block shots, he'll hit. He'll do anything.
For a guy
Whatever
that
you
you
ask him
claimed
to.
off waivers last year, for him to play 73 games, and I'll admit it's been 12 minutes a night, sheltered minutes, but for a guy that you claimed off waivers, you can't ask for much more. Like, he has played half of his games in his career this season. And he's a guy that's only 25, so if that's something that can continue to be improved, I'm super happy with that. Because I think he's been the name that's been, for more games than not, he's been the irreplaceable figure on that fourth line. Or third pairing, rather, not fourth line.
Yeah.
We all knew what I meant, the bottom group. And, like, I think that's someone who's been super underappreciated by the Flames fan base. So I'm glad we got to talk about him. And you know what? We'll call that a period. The other guys. So let's do another ad read as we get into period number 3 here. That's the social media. If you're not on social media, what rock do you live under and where can I join you? But if you're enjoying this show, you probably want some more of it, right? Well, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe on the channel. Make sure you check that notification bell as well, so you're alerted when we go live. If you're listening to our podcast, hello! Come join us live after every Calgary Flames game, home or away. And, you know, hit that 5-star review and write a review. It helps with the algorithm. If you really like us, make sure to follow us on your social media of choice. You can find the Game Over Network on Blue Sky at thegameovernetwork.com, on TikTok and Twitter at GameOverNHL, on Instagram, Threads, and even on LinkedIn at Game Over Network. I'm no longer on X. Well, obviously I have my burner. You didn't hear that from me. But you can find me over on the Blue Sky at conradkrausert.bsky.social. Where can they find you at, Anand?
You can find me everywhere you go. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, at CGY_Anand. That's my iconic tagline. You can find me on LinkedIn as well. Send me a connection request. I'm on Discord also, CGY_Anand, same thing. Feel free to find me a message. Send me hi. I'll be happy to respond to you.
If you want to find out more about the Game Over Network and all that we do, head over to our website as well, thegameovernetwork.com. So, period number 3, as I said, we will kind of look at what remains of the season for the Minnesota Wild and the St. Louis Blues. Obviously for the
And
Wild,
the Calgary Flames.
well, we'll talk about them last, because let's talk about what the rest of the league is, because those games matter just as much as the Flames' 2 or 3 remaining games. As you said, a back-to-back for the Wild. They fly over the Rockies to face the Canucks at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you got nothing else to do, you're not going to the Pet Expo like I am this weekend. Check out the Canucks versus the Wild tomorrow. An important game.
I'm going to a movie, Conrad.
You're going to a movie? Oh, well,
Yeah.
I'm sure we've got other friends here that are going to tune into this game. But that's an important one. As the Canucks, as much as they're a team that has kind of changed their roster around since they've been eliminated, they still are a dangerous team at times. Plucky and frustrating will be the way that I will phrase it, whether that's frustrating for our friend Kaya or whether it's frustrating for the other teams, yet to be determined. But you love to see that there's at least a couple teams on this Wild remaining schedule that want to play games, want to play spoiler, the Canucks being one of them. The other one being the Anaheim Ducks, and we saw last night that those Ducks are frustrating. Anand, do you think that there's a chance that they could lose both of those, or a better than usual chance they can lose at least one of them?
You know, I don't want to jinx or say anything, Conrad, but
Knock on wood.
for the sake of it, the Vancouver Canucks, you saw their game probably maybe day before yesterday, where the Dallas Stars were up 5-2. They scored 3 goals within a minute, and then they win it in overtime. That's my hope for the Vancouver Canucks.
No overtime. No, none of that. Nah. Regulation win.
No, I was telling the Canucks won in overtime.
Yeah, I know, but the Canucks can't go to overtime. We don't want to give up any points. Nah. Win in regulation, please.
Yeah, 100%. So win in regulation, but I think the Canucks can be a good match. The Ducks, it depends what kind of mood they are. Minnesota Wild, after tomorrow, if they're still tired, if they still want to compete, then you could see a good game from the Wild, but we'll see how it goes. But it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. And the Oilers did us a solid as they clinch their playoff spot, but they also defeat the St. Louis Blues. Okay, Graham Mossman, Avery, everyone else that's on that channel, Ash, this is, you might want to clip this. Thank you. Okay, now I'm done feeling gross with myself. But yeah, so that means the Blues only have one more game, and that's against Utah, who have also been playing hard games of late. So that's another team that could be looking to play spoiler. So the maximum points that the St. Louis Blues can finish with is 95. If the Flames win out, they will be at 96. Just saying. There is roads. And
There is possibility.
yeah, so the Wild can get above that 96 points. We do have to say that. They could win both of those games. That would put them to 97. That would put them out of reach. That would lock them into wild card number 1. So, if the Blues fail once against Utah, they're locked on 93. That means the Flames need 2 wins. If the Wild, they lose both of theirs, they're stuck on 93. Flames need 2 wins. Keep that in mind as we look through the Flames' remaining 3 games. As we know, one of those, last day of the season, reschedule, it's the Los Angeles Kings. Team above them in the standings. Have been playing very good of late. Little scary.
And but
Previous to that,
but
oh, go ahead, Anand.
Conrad, but they are a playoff team.
So do they have anything to play for?
No, do they rest their main important players for the playoffs?
That's the thing. Especially knowing they're going to go into a series against those same Edmonton Oilers we just talked about.
One curious person that they might keep, Andrei Kuzmenko. Just saying. That might be the only real worry right now, Andrei Kuzmenko. We'll see, because he has been shining as of late in LA. We'll see how that goes.
We'll see. Okay, so that's the 17th. Let's work backwards. Tuesday, April 15th, Vegas Golden Knights. They're locked in.
Do they also rest their players?
Or there's a horror scenario for the Flames. Is Mark Stone going to come back and play the last 2 games? That's a potential horror scenario for the Flames. We'll see. But the knock on wood, you hear it. My desk is a solid piece of wood. We have the San Jose Sharks on Sunday.
I might go to that game, Conrad.
I know, I'm covering it. I'm here on the show. That is a one that the Flames need to win before they even consider anything else. As we said, 3-0. If they win all 3 of these, there is no way for the St. Louis Blues to hold on to spot number 2. If the Flames, as they call it, as they win out, the Flames have their destiny in their own hands. I didn't think we'd be saying that at the end of tonight, Anand.
Not really. I thought the season was done by the Ducks game. But tonight, with how they came, still believe in the Flames.
But, fan base, if you do the wave in that game against the San Jose Sharks, You will cause me to have an aneurysm. So, if you don't like my commentary, go ahead, start it. But this is a real possibility, Flames fans. Strap in. The roller coaster ride is not yet over. Get the shoulder restraints over top. Lock in. This will be at least be fun for the last 3 games of the 2024-2025 season. We now will turn to chat and answer any questions. I know it's late. It's 11:30 at night, so we don't have that many friends up currently. So we'll try and keep overtime short. But before we get there, Anand, I'm going to block your pretty face just for a moment. I know, I'm sorry. I do this every time. But what better way to support something you love than by rocking this clothing? Game Over's apparel line has dropped with 3 unique designs. Whether you feel the nostalgic pull of our retro skater design, want to make a statement with our established design, which is right next to me right now, or you want to wear your love of goalies like Dustin Wolf and Dan Ledar proudly, we've got the Live and Die by the Goalie design. Or if you just need another coffee mug to get through what is inevitably going to happen again, we're going to get another snowfall. It's going to happen, I tell you. We've got that and more. The designs from Brady Chalice from Game Over Winnipeg. Use the QR code on screen now to have a look through our apparel store. Help us rebuild local sports media in Canada while repping this fantastic community. And I've heard there may be some exclusive playoff designs coming. That's a potential. So hey, get your gear soon, if not now. And hey, I even turned off the intro. I turned off the intro so it didn't start running again, Anand. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say I just saw this just popped up on my
On your social medias?
Social medias, Twitter, X, whatever you call it. So Ryan Pike just tweeting out 8 points earned by Calgary are not earned by Minnesota. The Flames are in, Minnesota is out.
Yep.
8 points earned by Calgary, not earned by St. Louis. Flames are in, Blues are out. So considering the Blues went on that 12-game winning streak, we'll see what happens. But all good signs for your Calgary Flames. I'll just say that.
So I guess we are big Utah, Vancouver, and who is it else I said? The Ducks. I guess we're big fans of those 3 teams for the rest of the season. So what that means for those of you who don't understand the plus minuses of that point system. If the Flames win all 3 of their games, that's 6 points in the positive for the Flames. If the Blues lose, that's the -2, effectively a +2 for the Flames. It's kind of a funky system that Pike uses, but it makes sense if you follow baseball a little bit. But hey, all that matters now is win out. That's what you got to do.
I'm gonna say one more crazy fact, Conrad. So day before yesterday, when the Ducks beat us 4-3 in overtime, it was almost the same scenario. So last week, when the Ducks were at home, we beat them by a score of 4-1. So we eliminated the Ducks from playoff contention.
Yeah.
Day before yesterday, when we played the Ducks, they beat us 4-3 in overtime. And I thought we were gonna get eliminated. So it was like almost Ducks eliminating us. But this win tonight puts it right back into a playoff conversation. Thank you.
Yeah, ball is in our court. That's all you can ask for at this time of year. Oh. My heart's beating almost out of my chest. Like, oh. It's pretty crazy. Oh. Like, I was prepared to come into this show. Like, I wore black because I was ready for a funeral. Like, that was where my brain was at. So, the fact that we're talking about, hey, the Flames just need to handle their poop. I was going to swear, but I'm trying not to. If they handle it, The spot in the playoff is theirs, and I gotta say, even if it's a 4-game playoff run, a playoff run sounds a lot better than missing out and being 9th place in the West.
100%.
So,
It will
not...
be
Oh, go ahead.
it will be my first official playoff run as a Calgary Flames fan in the city. And if we get to that point, I'm not gonna say anything further, but if we get to that point,
And as they say, all you need is a shot, right? As if you make the playoffs, your chances are as good as anyone else's. I remember the Red Mile of 2004. I was in junior high school. I went to the Red Mile. I saw things I probably shouldn't have as somebody in junior high. But all you need is a little bit of hope, a hot goaltender, and the Flames have both of those. Don't have any questions, but we'll end this off with a fact that the Denim Man actually told me earlier today. This is the first year since 1967 that neither the Red Wings or the Bruins will be in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I have a classmate who's a Boston Bruins fan. He's not happy. He's disappointed.
It just proves how upside down, inside out this season has been. That neither of those two squads have made it. Crazy times, and crazy times for Flames fans, but I'm going to call that an evening. For myself, Conrad Krausert, for my co-host, Anand Unnithan, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I will be back on Sunday for yet another must-win game for your Calgary Flames.
And if I go to the game at the Dome, I'll keep you updated from the Dome contract.
Have fun. We'll see you next time, Flames fan.